This video, I'm going to show you 7 kind of weird vibrational hacks that I use in my own life that keeps my vibration at a high level. These are things that when I applied and when I really became consistent to it, changed everything, and I'm going to show you exactly how to apply it. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now on this video, I'm going to be sharing with you those 7 vibrational hacks that I use in my own life that keeps my vibe high. First off, before we even get too far into it, I want you to know that when it comes to high vibration, it's who you really are. Having a high vibration is who you are. If you are experiencing less than the high vibration, then it's because there's certain behaviors that may be keeping you away from experiencing that. There's certain thought processes. Maybe you're expending a lot of energy thinking about negative things that may or may not happen or that have happened in the past. And when you learn to observe those, let those go, when you learn that this really is about claiming who you are as a high vibrational being, it becomes easier. Because sometimes people think like they're a low vibrational being trying to become higher. No, you're a high vibrational being, and having that sense of identity is so powerful, because when you realize that, it's then what can I let go of? What am I doing that's keeping me in low vibration? You see, having a high vibration is who you are. Any type of the transformative work that I really talk about on the channel, a lot of it has to do with the shift in identity. When you go through a spiritual awakening, that is the biggest shift in identity you will ever have. You go from thinking you're some little physical ego that has to experience reality just through the 5 senses and has to try to do everything it can to stay consistent to the way it defines itself, to then realizing that you are an eternal spiritual being that is having a temporary human experience. So it reframes it. It changes the way you see yourself, changes the way you interact with the world, because you realize the world is a reflection. It's a very powerful understanding, very transformative. Now, in this video though, I'm going to share with you some of the things that are, I don't really talk about that often because some of it's a little bit edgy, to be honest with you. And I'm going to actually show you. So the last 3 of these I filmed last night, and it is habits that I do at night. So those you're going to see towards the end of this video. They're habits 5, 6, and 7. However, the first 4 habits are going to be what I show you right now. First one's going to be a little bit edgy. The first thing I want to talk about, that's something that I believe that does keep my vibration high, and I'm sure this is both for men and women, but it's up to you and if this resonates with you. But something that I do is, or I guess it's a not habit, it's a no habit. It's something called NoFap. NoFap. NoFap is a movement, or it means where either guys or girls don't masturbate. And one of the reasons for this is because that energy is one of the most creative energies in the world. It has the potential of bearing a child. And when you look at the energy of that and you focus on understanding that you can cultivate, like in a way you can grow that energy within you and you can use it for positive means, for creativity, it changes everything. I remember I first read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill back in, 2012, 2011, probably 2011. And I remember reading the chapter that was on sexual transmutation. It's called sexual transmutation. All it means is that you use that energy, the sexual energy, and you bring it up into your heart and into your head. So you bring it from down here and you bring it up using energy, using intention, and not, wasting it. So many people, and even, years ago, when it comes to looking at what it would be like pornography, when you do that, what happens is it's mental energy, and you're also attuning yourself to many other people that focus on that. So it puts you into a certain state, and it's almost like you start picking up and you start having more impure thoughts. And not that there's anything wrong with sexuality at all, but it's about understanding your own energy and not wasting it because you'll sleep better at night, or because you have a sudden urge. If you can learn how to get that creative energy and to bring it up your spine and to breathe deep, you can use that creative energy in very powerful ways, and I believe that it can also be used to raise our own vibration. And a lot of times, sometimes they'll call that Kundalini awakenings, which has a powerful, like a Kundalini type energy that we begin to raise up our spine. So something that I do or don't do what I mean by that is I do no fap, which means I don't masturbate, is because I know that that energy can move up. And having like a, I guess you could say like a willpower like I have when it comes to making videos and kind of how I live my life, it also in a way adds to, it's almost like the idea that if you could do something, that if you could do that, you can do other things as well. Because it's not always the easiest thing, but once you get into the habit or the not habit of cultivating that energy and then bringing it up your spine, and then focusing on things that you want in a way, there's like a desire there, and you almost feel like there's more energy going in that direction. Whereas if you do that consistently, you'll find that your energy begins to drop. And I told this to a couple buddies of mine, and one of my buddies I told this to started to do that, and he noticed he has so much more energy. And sometimes people ask me, Aaron, why do you have so much energy? Well, I don't do that. I know that I can cultivate that energy, I can bring it up, and I can use it for more powerful means. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't express yourself in that way, especially if you're with someone else, but it just means that you're more mindful of when and how you're doing it, and you do things with more intention. So that is something that I figured I would share. I know it's a little bit edgy, but nonetheless, it's very powerful. A lot of people that you can study use that even if they're not aware of it. They use it in certain ways. They may not be aware that it's, but they're using that energy and they're converting it to creative energy. So if you want more on that, you can check out, there's a chapter in Think and Grow Rich, which is an old school book that has a whole chapter on sexual transmutation. And it's just basically running the energy up your spine and using that for creative energy. So some of these are going to be a little bit weirder that I share, or they're going to be a little bit different. But one of the other ones I wanted to share is, you remember how I was saying that like we're high vibrational beings and there's things that keep us from feeling high vibration? Well, it's when we react to our environment. It's when we react. It's like something happens, reaction. Something happens, reaction. Now this is why there's something that I do, and it's super simple. But what I do is, this is my meditation spot right here. I'm traveling to Tulum right now. This is the room, by the way, if in case you haven't seen it yet. That's the view. It's got a really nice view. So every morning when I wake up, this is where I meditate. That's the candle flame right there. Now what I do is I stare at the candle flame. Now this I do for 10 to 15 minutes in the morning and to 10 to 15 minutes at night. And what this does is, because the eyes are focused on one point, eyes that wander is a mind that wanders. But when you focus on one point, it becomes so much easier to observe your thoughts. So something that I do every single day for 15 minutes right when I wake up and right before I go to bed is I stare at the candle flame and I simply observe my thoughts. Now this is the game changer. When you learn how to observe your thoughts, let them be there, not try to control them. The ego always wants to control. That's when you start to see that there's this gap in between what you think and what is happening. This gap between what happens and your reaction to what happens. And then this leaks into the rest of your day. So imagine later on, someone at the office says, hey, that's the way you do it. You should be doing this, you should be doing that. Instead of going, oh, you're right, or is it reacting? You're able to observe it. And you're able to say, okay, and then do, and then be in a different way. It's a different way you respond rather than react. So this, though, is more of a lifestyle. You learn how to observe different things in your life. You learn how to observe your past experiences, and then you start to gain your power back, because then your energy is not being scattered into the past, into the future, into different situations, and you can bring it more into the present moment. So staring at this candle flame is something and a habit that I do every single day for 10 or 15 minutes right when I wake up or right before I go to bed. I've done it since 2012. It's profoundly changed my life. Doing this has made me more aware of my beliefs too. I'm like, oh, I used to have a belief that I had ADHD. I used to have a belief that I was unworthy. And then as I observe those beliefs, they begin to go, I begin to neutralize the energy of it. When you feed something, that's when it has power over you. But if you observe it, that's where the real power is. So observation is it's really the key to awareness, is becoming aware. You have to observe. You have to observe from this neutral point of view. A candle flame, though, looking at one point for 5 or 10 minutes and just focusing on your breath, what you'll notice is that your thoughts begin to slow down. And even if some type of thought comes in that you don't prefer to have, you look at that thought, you could say, oh, thought's not supposed to be there. Or you could just allow that thought to be there. And by allowing it to be there, it loses its emotional rigidity. It loses its pull of trying to control. And in this observation state's where all the awareness is. Thoughts come in. What am I going to eat later? It's okay. Thoughts come in. How long is this meditation going to last? It's okay. Observe it. Let it be there. As you do this, you learn to know thyself. To learn to know thyself, which is where all the power is, which is where you start to learn more about beliefs you have. You start to learn more about patterns that you don't longer prefer to experience. And this changes everything right here. It's the most simple one. I would say it's also the most powerful one. So it's not always the most exciting to think about looking at a candle flame, but nonetheless, it's really underrated. And it is so powerful. So something else I'll show you is maybe I'll have like a B-roll right now to go into the gym that I've been going to here in Tulum. They have an amazing sauna, and it's like 180 degree. Theirs is like a steam slash, actually it's humidity in the sauna. It's really nice. And then they have a cold plunge. But what I do every single day is I try to go into the sauna. What that allows me to do is that allows me to let go and detoxify my body. And it also is just very, you don't normally bring your phone inside of the sauna itself. You just, you're more with yourself, and you're sweating, you get more into your body. For me, that's really good because I'm always kind of like making videos and taking in computers and stuff. So doing that to me is like a way of deplugging. But what I really enjoy is I go into the sauna and then I go into the cold plunge. And there's or I take a cold shower if there's no cold plunge. And that contrast from hot to cold really brings me into my body, and I find it very beneficial. And it's something I do every single day if I can. I'm traveling, I got lucky because I come to Tulum. They actually have a really nice gym that has something like that. So maybe I'll put some B-roll in there, or maybe you've already seen the B-roll of that. But a sauna and some way of detoxifying your body is very powerful as well, a way to raise your vibration and really get inside of your body. Sometimes we think, raising our vibration means we project ourselves, and it's almost like people trying to leave their body. No, you want to go more in. The more in you go, the more you raise your vibration. So what is that? That's 1, 2, 3, one more. The last one, that one more. There's 3 more after this that I filmed last night. But the next, the one I want to talk about before we go into the night session one is making a video every single day. It's one of my habits. It's kind of, make a video a day. That's kind of a weird habit to have, but it's what I'm passionate about. I believe that if you do what you're passionate about every single day, it will profoundly change your life over time. And think about it, I've been doing it since February 2017. Every single day it's compounded, it's built up. And now making a video is so easy for me because it's who I am. But me doing this every day, I could make like 7 videos in 2 days and be done for the rest of the week. But I don't do that. I make a video every single day because I love making videos. I love the creative process. I love getting into flow state right when I wake up in the morning, and I believe that it does impact my vibration. So what are you passionate about? What are you doing every single day? Are you, if you love painting, paint. If you love to draw, draw. If you love to play certain sports, play sports. Do something every day for you that raises your vibration. Now, it may not look like, I'm making videos for everyone else. Well, I'm also doing it for me. I love making these videos. It's something I'm very passionate about. And one of the ways you're going to raise your vibration the most in the world is by doing what your purpose is, doing what you're passionate about. If you don't know what that is, set the intention to find out what it is and watch what comes up in your life. You'll see synchronicity. You hear conversations you didn't know that you could hear, or that were seem out of the blue, but really it's showing you, directing you in a certain way. So these are the top 4. Now the next 3 are going to be ones that I filmed at night. We'll go ahead and get into it with a really cool transition right now. All right, now one of the next things that keeps my vibration high is actually these glasses right here. Now, what these glasses do is, you may have seen me wear them in some of my Instagram stories. These are what are called blue blockers. And what they do is at nighttime, they make it so that it blocks out blue light. Blue light sends a signal to your brain that makes your brain think that it's still daylight. So what'll happen is sometimes people will be, like right now, I'm writing my to-do list for the next day on this iPad. And when I do that, it's got so much blue light normally. And sometimes what people will do is they'll put it on night mode, which might help a little bit. But in general, because I work online and I'm always, I'm doing things quite often, these are a game changer. You know how I know this as well? I have this thing right here that tracks my recovery. It tracks how well I sleep at night, the depthness of my sleep, and ever since I bought something like these, it's had it to where it's so much easier for me to, I recover much better. And it's the same thing for my buddy Victor Otto, who many of you guys know as well. He did the same thing. Same thing for him. His sleep is way better, and you recover a lot easier. So one way that you can raise your vibration is by not hammering down your vibration, by having something that is in a way telling your brain that it's noon. Because think about it like this: when you sleep good at night, your vibration the next day is going to be more recovered. You're going to feel better about yourself. So this is something that I recommend you do. I even sometimes, I wear this quite often, even though it's not always just at nighttime before bed. Anytime I'm on a screen, I wear this because I believe it's protecting my eyes. Now, once again, belief systems are so powerful. If you believe it works, then many times it will. If you're unaware of it, though, many times you'll fall under the beliefs of most of society. So that's something I find interesting as well. But for me, one of the things that raises my vibration, that allows me to kind of a weird hack, because people see me, I'll even go to the gym with this, because I know sometimes I'll be on my phone at the gym when I'm tracking my workout. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll have like a timer that I'm in between my sets, so I'm looking at a camera. So that also helps. So these glasses might look kind of funny, but it does help me to keep my vibration high. And it helps me to not have the light make me think that it's noon outside, so that at nighttime when it's time to actually tone down, that's something that's not that hard to do. Now, something else that I wanted to share with you, this is also kind of a nighttime routine. It's gonna sound a little bit weird. This is what I do energetically, okay? So this is the room that I'm in right now. Let me show you it. I gotta put away my laundry right now. This is the room, and it's very simple. But now, this is what I do every single night before I go to bed. Now, first off, I have this little thing right here. This thing resonates at a certain frequency. These are two magnets. So let me show you this real quick. So I turn it on. It says sleep on command. I'm always wearing the blue blockers when I look at this as well. And it programs it to certain hertz. So 9.6 hertz is what I leave it at. There's two magnets under the bed that both keep my frequency of the earth, which is close to the Schumann resonance, and it keeps it so that it's almost as beneficial as sleeping outside, but sleeping inside. So this is something that I found to be very powerful as well. I've been using this for about a year now, and I really enjoy it, but that's not even what I was gonna share with you. That's not even one of the hacks, although that could definitely be a weird hack. So this is what I do every single night before I go to bed. What I do is I put an energetic grid around my bed. So normally I'll meditate here, which I'll probably show you that tomorrow morning. I'm filming this part of the video before I actually film the meat of the most of the video. The vegan meat of the video is this right here. So at nighttime, this is what I do. First off, I wear the blue blockers. I have that of that pulse magnet thing. It's called an earth pulse. And then what I do is I put an energetic grid. I will literally put my hands out like this and imagine that there is a green orb going around my bed that is transmuting all energy into light and love. And I ask for my spiritual guides to help assist in this process. I ask for to have great dreams, to remember my dreams when I wake up in the morning. And I do that around my bed, literally within maybe 20, like 2-3 minutes before getting into bed. And I find that power, this is something that's kind of weird as well when we're talking about vibrational hacks, right? I'll take these off for a minute just so you can kind of see what I mean. When it comes to these vibrational hacks, this is why I think that this is so powerful. When you are doing something over a certain area, like this room, even though I'm only in this room because I'm in Tulum, Mexico right now for like a month, every single day that I put this grid around my bed, it begins to grow. There's almost like there's an energy here that begins to grow every single day. So now what I find is that if I do this more often, it becomes easier and easier for this energy to become more strong. And that's why my old house, the house that I used to live into before we got out of it, people would come into it all the time, like, oh my gosh, your house is so high vibe. Your house is so vibe. I could feel it because I had crystals around my house too. But also, I put an energetic grid around my whole entire house. Now also, I had some crystals which were in different corners of the house, which I would put intention into, that would amplify the energy field of it. So when you went into the house, you would definitely feel a higher vibration there. There was a room that all I would do is meditate in. You go into that room, you definitely feel a high vibe. There was a part of the house where I would film at, in that area to get a lot of creative ideas. There was an office room, and in that area every single day I was focused on more of the technical parts of my business. However, wherever the energy is, that energy then begins to grow. So what I do is I put the intention around the bed, and I put the intention so that it grows that energetic field. And as it does that, okay, there we go. As it does that, it compounds over time. So put an energy field around your bed and have it be with the intention of protection, the intention of love, the intention of remembering your dreams in the morning, the intention of feeling a certain way when you wake up in the morning, and watch how that begins to affect your life. So everything that you're seeing here is stuff that I do at nighttime. Now I'll show you one more thing. So what is that? It's we've got the blue blockers. We've got the energy field around the bed, and then there's people playing music right now, even though it's late at night. But let me go outside real quick and show you. So, this is something else I will do every single night before I go to bed. Don't want to lock the door. For some reason, when you lock that door, it actually locks to where then I can't get back in. I have to make sure I don't lock it all the way. So this is the backyard of the Airbnb, by the way. It's pretty cool. It's got a cool little vibe. Now something that I will do every single night, probably hear that really loud music. So one thing I will do is I will walk barefoot on grass just for maybe a couple minutes, 5 or 10 minutes. What this does is this allows me to ground my energy, because I find that being in that of the in front of a computer for a period of time, or busy with other stuff, this helps to really ground me. Now this is something else that I do. I used to do it every single night at my other house. I told Victor and his wife Patty, Victor Otto, my buddy, and his wife Patty, who's also my friend, I told them about that I used to do this. They didn't believe me. What I would do every single night before I go to bed is I would hug a tree. I had a tree in my backyard, and I would literally hug a tree every single night before I would go to bed, and I felt like it would just really ground my energy. And I'd put intention into it, like connecting with the earth, connecting with nature, realizing that nature is kind of an extension of us, but also it's an energetic thing too. I think that back in the day we used to sleep outside, and we had a much more deep connection to the earth. So let me kind of go in now. But in general, I'll have these 3 things be the last things. So as you can see, when it comes to living a high vibe, man, I think this is zoomed in. Let me try to zoom it out real quick. I know it looks, there we go. Isn't that better? Isn't that better? Hit the like button if that's better. If that's a better location, a little bit more further away, let me know. Go and like this video, and I'll know by the likes of this video if this is better. I'm kind of glowing. Am I offending? So anyways, when it comes to these 7 things, habits that I use in my own life that raise my vibration, realize that it's really a way of being. It's a way of life. You see yourself as a high vibrational being. It makes this process so much easier. It's a part of your identity. So the reason I do a lot of these things, even though some of them are kind of weird, is because I believe, it's also my belief, that it fits into my lifestyle, and that this is just a part of who I am. And having that, it helps me to more so embody we're all high vibrational beings dreaming that we're these little egos. So when we can align ourselves to what really works for us, all of these might not work for you. Maybe you're like, oh, you know what, those blue blockers, I don't think I need them. I'm not really in my computer that much anyways. Or that energy field thing, you're like, well, I don't even believe that, I need to protect myself from anything. Honor your beliefs. Do what works for you. But for all of these are ways that I raise my vibration. These are kind of weird habits that I have, but nonetheless that I do every single day. Recently I've become aware of how regimented my life is. We're in Tulum right now, and I found a gym that I really like that has a sauna and a cold plunge, and I really enjoy it. And part of me was like feeling like, oh, am I too regimented? Well, I am regimented, but it's what goes into me being and having a high vibration so that I can share content with you and everyone else and have the energy to do so. So the reason I say this is for you to find out what works for you. And what I'd like for us to do is to all share, what do you do to raise your vibration? Do you have any weird hacks like this? Leave it below and share, because then we all have something to come to. We can all come back to this comment section and see some weird habits that maybe we can do, or not even weird is just a word. Oh guys, look at the moon right now. It looks so cool. Look how bright that is, wow. So yeah, I'm in Tulum right now, living a high vibrational lifestyle. Very grateful for the life I live, but no, it's possible for every single one of you to live life on your terms. You just have to make the choice to do so, and you have to raise your vibration. That's really the key. If you haven't already, you can calibrate your vibration by going to whatsmyvibration.com. You can calibrate your vibration there. It takes you about a minute or two to fill out the survey. It will reveal to you your vibration. Plus, I'll send you a meditation once you fill out and you find out your calibration. I'll send you a meditation that'll help you to get to the next level. Plus, I'll send you emails over the next week or two showing you how to get to the next level with all my best tricks and techniques that I've used in my own life. So if you want to calibrate your vibration, whatsmyvibration.com. I'll go ahead and link it in the top of the description box below. As I said, if you could like this video, if you liked it, and then also comment your vibrational hacks below, that'll help us all to have something to come back to and know how we can raise our vibration together. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace, much love, and namaste.